Oh, baby. I do love s'mores. That is so good. Hey friends, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. When I'm out on my solo and family car camping trips, I really enjoy taking different pieces of gear that provide some flexibility and function to the experience that I'm trying to have when I'm out in various places, whether that's a campground or dispersed camping. And so today I want to take a look at this little gadget here, the Warmbond Mini Stove. This is a mini tabletop fire pit that will burn 4 different types of fuel and gives you the option to cook on it or provide warmth, make s'mores, all of the things that you would expect a fire pit to do. But because of its small size, it can be carried anywhere, and it has some really cool versatility and flexibility because of what is included here. Now, full disclosure, Warmbond did send this to me for free to test and check out and share with you guys, and they are sponsoring this video today. So this is not a review of the product, and simply to share the use cases and information about this, and for you to decide whether or not you think it works for you or not. Now, what's included with the Warmbond Mini Stove out of the box is a carrying case for you to carry everything in. And then you've got the stove itself that has a grill grate. You've got this shield for when you are burning just charcoal, wood, or pellets. And then you've also got this alcohol burner that sets down in here, and you're able to put your grill grate on there, because then you can put a pan or a pot on top of that for you to do some of that cooking. You also get a snuffer, so when you are done burning that alcohol, you can snuff that and then pour it back into whatever bottle you have with the little spout right here, which is a nice touch with this thing. And then you've also got a removable ashtray. So this will burn 4 different fuel types. It will do alcohol, it will do pellets and charcoal, and then wood. So you have the flexibility, depending on where you're at, for you to use different types of fuel. Maybe you're not allowed to collect firewood in the campground that you go to, so you're going to use pellets inside of this that you bring from home, like you would in your smoker for smoking meat if you've got one of those, or you can bring charcoal, briquettes, and that kind of thing, and you can do some cooking. So there's some flexibility with this that I find to be pretty interesting. But let's go ahead and get a fire built in here and talk about some of the other specs and features of this. Now that I've got a fire going in here, let's talk about the specs and features of this little tabletop fire pit. The dimensions of this are about 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. So it's a nice cube, but it is a little bit taller than it is wide. And it provides enough space for you to get enough fuel into the stove for cooking, but also to burn long enough that you're not constantly feeding it, so that you're not ever really getting a nice good burn. Now, one of the standout things about this is it is a double wall gasifier type of stove. So what you've got is vents around the bottom, and then you can see vents around the top inner edge that allows for a lot of airflow inside of the stove. So it's going to burn very efficient, and it's going to basically be smokeless in the sense that it's double burning. So it's getting very hot, efficient burn, and it makes it so that the fuel inside will burn for a very long time and just reduce the amount of smoke that you're getting from the burn as well. So not completely smokeless, but pretty close. Now, besides just having the ability to use this as a fire pit for warmth, to create some of that ambiance that you want at night when you're out on a camping trip, this has some really interesting flexibility to it to not only cook s'mores over it, which is really nice. We have enjoyed that as a family, but you have this alcohol burner that also has the grill grate that will go on top of it. So you can use that in the morning to like heat up water to make your coffee or hot chocolate in the morning. But then as well, you can just cook over this flame. So if I put that grill grate on there, Then I can take any pan or pot that I want and just go ahead and do whatever cooking I want on this. And so I've got the flexibility to bring pellets and use that fuel type, or charcoal briquettes. I could put pretty much anything on there and cook with it. So for example, maybe I've got some eggs. I can go ahead and make me a nice breakfast with this stove cooking over the fire. Now, from a usability standpoint and function of this, where do I feel like this applies the most? I think simply from a camping standpoint, where you want to have the option of a fire, but also not necessarily create a big impact when you go out, or sometimes you show up to a campsite and there's not already a fire ring there. And so this allows for you to still have the ambiance of a fire, the warmth of a fire, without then creating additional impact to an area by building a fire pit in that campsite, that kind of thing. Or again, you go out to a campground where you don't have the option of collecting firewood, you didn't bring firewood, and so you want a small fire for you to roast hot dogs, make s'mores, that kind of thing, like I am right here, and just have that flexibility. It's such a small package and such an easy way to make those fun campfire foods that we really enjoy, and not have to have this huge production to be able to do it. So from a usability standpoint, and the price point of this being at $100, it's a very approachable and nice way to have some flexibility in your cooking. And so if that's what you're looking for, then this could be a pretty decent option for that. But this is the Warmbond Mini Stove. 4 different types of fuels, tabletop, and flexibility of having the ambiance of a fire that is much reduced smoke compared to a fire on the ground, and the ability to cook. All sorts of versatility with this, with all contained in a small package. So if you want to learn more, there is a link down in the description. Want to thank Warmbond for sponsoring this video today. Appreciate you guys watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Hope you have an awesome day, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you later. Oh, baby. I do love s'mores. That is so good.